Hello and welcome to Rapyd Bytes. Today we're going to look at Webhooks. Rapyd is an API-first company, and here at Rapyd Bytes we'll show you how to work with our API to accept, hold, and disperse funds anywhere using local payment methods. Be sure to check out our developer community in the link below. We've got some live events going on, some virtual events, hackathon, and you can post anything fintech, any questions in the thread below or on community.rapyd.net. Thanks for watching. Again, we're going to be walking through webhooks. So webhooks are callback messages from Rapyd to you, the client, triggered by internal or external events. And so one example would be a synchronous trigger event in which anything created, anything at that point in time, you'd be sent a webhook with the relevant information for that webhook. And so payment created, customer created, disperse created. Well, maybe not customer because the customer is would be an example of he's inputting or that customer is inputting their information. But when you pay, create a payment or basically anything that is at that point in time, actually customer. In respect to the action itself, customer created would be asynchronous. Asynchronous would be, something that the end user is kind of reliant on their action. And so you create a bank transfer payment, and then that requires a third party to kind of log in and trigger that event information. Cash is a great example of a request is created, and then the customer needs to go to the local point of sale location, show their QR code or show their code to input, and then they would pay cash. And then that's when kind of the trigger event would happen. And so I'm going to head over to just different pages that I have. We're going to do a couple payments today and see how they trigger webhook events. Create a payment. We're going to be using the API because it's a little bit quicker. We may use the checkout page once or twice, but here we're going to capture payments, complete payments, as well as make a refund. And so here I'm now in the client portal. I'm on the developers tab under credentials where webhooks is, and then you're going to input your URL, which will be the callback URL where you want your webhook sent. And so I'm just using just a webhook test site, webhook.site. A lot of our developers are using the site to test, so as well as different sites, but this is just kind of for demos. And so I have created the URL, and so this is going to be sending all the URLs to this site. You can take a look at all the webhook events. These are all kind of spelled out in our API reference, so if you search up some of these and go to the correlated API calls, there should be just a description of these webhooks on our documentation. And so I'm going to head over to Postman, where I'm testing right now just some different card payments here. We just have a customer ID with about $100 in British pounds with a Visa card and information. So I'm just going to send this in Sandbox. Card payments immediately are closed, and so that's going to send all the webhooks. Here we've got 3. We've got customer payment method created. This is the thing that I love about webhooks. When we do have the API call, save card details and save card details during the checkout process. But when a card payment is made, a webhook returns with that created and the card ID. And so I love that. That it passes to the client, and then of course payment completed, and payment succeeded. You'll see the difference between these. Payment completed would be basically it shows the $100 as well as kind of the information, and then payment succeeded is basically the same information, but you'll see as payment fails kind of what goes through and what will fail. And so I'm going to stay on this and then head back. And so one thing we could do is bank transfer. Let's see if any failure. No, that actually wouldn't go through. So let me go capture update. All right, actually we will do one checkout page, and so we'll spend the time. Let me go for that, and let me just do a guest, and this is just in the UK. And so here I have a bank, and let's do that. Test payment here, and now I like this simulation, and so here we'll just go to an error, and so that was basically a failed payment, and so here is the customer created the test email and name is just test. Here's the payment method created. Here is payment succeeded, and so that kind of went through. You can see the status is active. And so that is kind of information came through, but it does have steps. And so that would be kind of that synchronous payment. Now the asynchronous is related to when I chose error and used the information to create an error. And so this caused the payment failed as here. And so we have the webhook ID, payment ID, where it would go to. And so let me now do a refund. And so we have the succeeded payment here with the card payment, and I can do a refund here. Complete refund. Oh, create refund. There we go. Create refund. I'm going to paste, this is the payment ID for the card payment that we completed, and now here is the refund that we, it says completed here, and now refund completed, and we have that information. I'm going to do another bank transfer payment, but this will be I'll try and do API, and so here's a bank redirect, and then just a success, and so here is our new fancy website. Let me go to the webhook. Payment succeeded for the webhook. For this was the one I just did, this bank redirect, I believe in Mexico, and payment completed. And so yeah, here we have just an example of some webhooks being passed after some completed payments, some successful payments, as well as failed payments and refund. And so yeah, webhooks are absolutely important to communicate to the client as well as pass through to the customer. And one thing I love, it does create payment methods as payments are made with webhook ID, as well as some payment card information that it would save for cards as well as banks and other payment methods. And so, yeah, we walked through just kind of those steps and how to set it up in Client Portal. If you have any questions, post in the thread below, or you can post in community.rapyd.net. Thanks for watching and have a great day.